the music. Stop
Turn it
the
off.
music.
Stop.
We told you.
What are you doing?
You don't come into a show like today's on an up note.
Yeah, learn how to produce, or we're going to produce your replacement.
What? You never mentioned anything.
What are you doing talking?
Yeah, shut up.
Whatever, let's just get into the show.
Enough
here.
out of you. Come on.
Paulie Fusco here with Tony Fusco, #1 rated show, yada, yada, yada. As you all know, the other night the Phillies let down and shamed our entire city with an absolutely pathetic performance in Game 7, losing to an expansion team.
Horrible.
And, everyone here should just be ashamed of themselves, shouldn't they, Tony?
Yeah, I don't want to come down too hard on Bryce Harper here, but if you can't hit a home run off a 98-mile-per-hour fastball in a Game 7 with the entire series on the line, along with your career and legacy, then you're just not that good at baseball.
So true. And if you people out there, came here looking for more baseball talk, well, you should out of luck. Because as you all know, baseball is ratings poison.
Yeah, good luck, MLB, with that Arizona-Texas World Series. Can't wait to not watch.
Yeah, anyway, on to today's show with better topics.
Yeah.
The Eagles crushing the Dolphins.
Yeah.
And we'll tell you why that has huge ramifications.
Yeah, ramifications all over the place.
Yeah, and we're also going to defend the Michigan football team, who are being called cheaters when they should be called heroes.
Yeah, exactly. And as they say, those in glass houses shouldn't throw glass houses.
Well said there, Tony.
Thank
also,
you.
good news. Our guest today, finally, someone we actually want to have on this show.
Someone worth having.
Eagles Super Bowl legend, defensive great, NFL royalty, played for the Patriots, but we're going to look past that.
Yeah, who? I don't even remember.
Chris Long will be joining us. And, he's trying, Tony's trying to get into the sports media game.
Yep.
So, we're going to give him some coaching.
Yeah, we're going to help him out. We're going to share our expert knowledge.
Yeah, but first, the holiday season is right around the corner. And that's why it's time for a message from our newest sponsor, our good friends at Zales. Do you have someone special in your life? Then you better get them something expensive for Christmas, you cheap f***.
Yeah, it's so important to keep up the romance, and nobody does that better than my Aunt Marie's boyfriend, Nunzio. The other day, he told me he was going to give my aunt a pearl necklace for Christmas, and I said, wow.
Wait, you can't say that.
Why are you talking? What are you doing?
So unprofessional. In the middle of an...
Just shut up.
Anyway, our apologies to the people at Zales. Anyway,
Yeah.
Order online at Zales.com. Use the promo code Fusco and get 1% off your first purchase of $10,000 or more. Offer expires October 25th, 2023. Zales.
Yeah, another check in the
No
mail.
more interruptions, okay?
No thanks to you.
It's time to get into the big news in our top story.
Top story.
All right, first out the gate, a team in Philly who actually knows how to win. The Eagles got back to their usual winning ways, all out destroying the Dolphins 31-17. And Tony, this was more than just a win for the team, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Jalen Hurts beat his old Alabama teammate, Tua Tagovailoa. So, when you go back and look at the 2018 National Championship game against Georgia, where Tua came off the bench, you have to say that Nick Saban clearly made the wrong call in that moment. And also, you have to say Jalen Hurts would have won that game if Nick Saban hadn't made such a poorly misguided, regrettable decision.
Great point, Tony. And another thing that must be mentioned about this game, the Dolphins were wearing white helmets.
Exactly.
And, as we brilliantly and correctly pointed out last week, the only reason Jalen Hurts lost to the Jets was because both teams were wearing green helmets, and it was very confusing.
Yup. In fact, when you look at Jalen Hurts' biggest losses, you can clearly see that it all has to do with helmet confusion. They're either the same color as the Eagles or Alabama. Jets wore green, confusing. Chiefs wore red, just like Alabama. And Georgia wore red too. And of course, the Cowboys. Jalen Hurts played high school football in Texas. So, there you go.
Terrific analysis, Tony. And,
Thank you.
another development involving the Eagles. Many jealous and pathetic NFL organizations are trying to petition the league to outlaw the tush push because
Ridiculous.
they say it, quote, violates the spirit of the game or whatever that means. And Tony,
What does that even mean?
This is just totally wrong, isn't it?
Absolutely. When you look at what separates NFL athletes from athletes in other sports, it's clearly one thing. Ass size.
Yep.
NFL players have massive asses, and they should be able to use their huge asses to their advantage.
Yep.
In fact, if I was scouting quarterbacks, the first metric I would measure is ass size and make sure it is huge enough and round enough for maximum tush push ability.
Yep.
I mean, it would be wrong to keep an athlete from using technically his biggest muscle.
Amazing insight there, Tony. And this has caused
Thank
you
you.
to update your draft board, hasn't it?
Yeah, I used to have Caleb Williams going number 1, but my sources tell me he has an alarmingly narrow ass, and that has them very concerned. The scouts say his tush is simply not big enough to push, so that's why I now have him going 6th or 7th round at best.
Just tremendous analysis, Tony. And
Thank you.
if I may take a moment here on a serious note, I just want to say that my heart goes out to all the quarterbacks who had huge asses that would have
Yeah.
been great for tush pushing, but were unfortunately ahead of their time.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm talking about great men like Jamarcus Russell, who had a hugely massive ass
Great
that was
ass.
perfect for today's NFL. And it's just such a shame that so many foolish people didn't value ass size at the time.
So true. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, let's now move on to a major story out of college football. Michigan and their head coach Jim Harbaugh under fire for allegedly stealing signs from opponents by going to previous games and videotaping the signals from the sidelines. And Tony, there's a lot of people criticizing Michigan here, but we need to stand up for what's right, don't we, Tony?
It's a terrible double standard here. How is it that when people steal signs during wars, they're called heroes, but when they steal signs during college football games, they're called cheaters? That makes no sense.
No sense.
Football is a lot like war. You got two sides. There's defense and offense. There's sneak attacks, bombs, shotguns. It's basically the same.
Such a great point, Tony. And, just jumping
Thank
off
you.
that, you people out there, you need to do more than not only study history. You also should study movie history. I mean, you look at any war
Absolutely.
movie that's ever been made, the guy who steals the signs is the hero. Isn't that right, Tony?
Yeah. There was that one about World War I where Dr. Strange, he built the computers to steal signs.
Exactly. And, of course, that Nicolas Cage movie, one of his best, Wind Talkers.
Yeah.
That had to do with signs.
Yeah, and what about Independence Day with
Yup.
Bill Paxton?
Yup.
He had to steal the alien signs in order to beat the aliens. So Michigan's critics saying that if aliens invaded our planet, we wouldn't want to steal their signs? Doesn't make sense to me.
Me too, Tony. And, I'd love to discuss this more. Maybe we will, because I see our guest coming on the line. So let's bring him on the Fusco Satellite Network.
Fusco Satellite Network.
Today, our guest is someone we actually want to have on the show for a change.
Yeah, for a change.
True Philadelphia hero, a legendary defensive end, won Super Bowl 52 with the Eagles.
Yeah.
Won another with the Patriots, but we're going to overlook
I don't remember that. Yep.
Now he hosts the Green Light podcast. He's trying to get into the media side, like his dad, Howie Long, who's, way more successful at this. But, that could still change. There's still time. And we're giving him some help today, some exposure. So here he is, Chris Long. Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back.
You guys need to work on your intros.
Oh, this guy's been in the business for like 6 months. All of a sudden, he's given direction. No. Let's work on your intro. You say, thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me.
I respect you so much. There you go.
Yeah,
Good.
I respect you guys.
That's how
we're
you
starting
do
out
it.
a little rocky, but we'll come back. Okay. Here, Chris. So, as you know, on sports shows, just to let you in, we talk about the top stories first, not anything else, okay? So, the top story is these jealous haters out there, as you know, they want to ban the tush push. They say it doesn't
ridiculous.
fall within the spirit of the game, whatever that means. But aren't they forgetting the one thing NFL players have that other athletes don't? Huge asses. Don't you think it would be wrong to keep a player from using technically his biggest muscle?
Yeah, I think it would be wrong. I also don't think it's a push as much as a carry. Like they were picking up Jalen Hurts the other night like it was a child, carrying him 5 to 7 yards. And for the NFL, is it more unwatchable than 6 cutaways to Taylor Swift every 30 seconds, man?
See,
now,
there
listen,
you go.
I'm
That's a good take.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm not like a Swift hater. Like, I'm sure she's great. And I'm, Travis and her, I hope they live a long, happy life together. But the tush push is not hurting the game. It's helping the game. This is like, don't forget about the demo of middle-aged guys who want to see the tush push. I know you're trying to grow the game, younger audience, but I don't think it's a competitive advantage because other people are totally fine to try it. They haven't done it at the same rate. In fact, the Giants got 2 guys hurt doing it. So maybe it's like, don't try this at home kind of situation, but it's not cheating by any means. If you want to draft bigger linemen, if you don't like it.
Exactly. Don't you think
what a
this will
great
change
take.
how we evaluate quarterbacks? Don't you think the first metric scouts will look at now, they'll look at ass size?
Yep.
Ass size. Yeah, I like that. You just line them up at the combine and just give them a firm smack in the ass, go down the line.
Yep.
Whoever's ass moves the least, that's the guy you want.
Maybe
on
a
your
grab too, because you need the roundness. Yep.
Yeah, you want to feel. Yeah, you want to feel. Maybe if you could set the playbook on the guy's ass, then yeah, you got to draft that guy.
Such a smart scientific approach there.
Yeah, exactly. Our sources tell us Caleb Williams, his ass is alarmingly narrow. As a scout and lineman, how concerned are you with Caleb Williams' ass size?
Well, I'm going. If I'm a scout, my first trip is to Chapel Hill to see what Drake May is working with back there because Caleb Williams, as you mentioned, a little. I don't know what his waist size is, but I think he can fit into high-rise pants, whatever kind of pants you want. I don't want a guy like that as my quarterback. I don't want a guy as my quarterback who's wearing skinny jeans. You never see Jalen Hurts in skinny jeans.
Nope, absolutely.
He's got to wear big baggy pants because he's got a donk back there, and that's the kind of guy we want under center.
Yep,
there you go. But just to continue that point there quickly, do you think Jamarcus Russell would have succeeded in today's NFL because he had such a hugely massive ass?
Yeah, it's a totally different game now. I think like Jamarcus Russell would be one of these guys that it wasn't about him. It was the time and the place. I don't think football was ready for him.
Ahead of his time. Yep.
Kyle Trask is a little bit confusing to me because I think he should be getting more burn. Have you seen his ass?
Not recently.
Not recently, he said.
It's been
you got to Google.
bench.
I don't know if you guys have Google in your studio, but you should Google Kyle Trask. I don't know how he
All right, hold on. Let's
far.
do this, Tony. 1 second there.
Yeah,
Kyle Trask ass. Let's see what comes up here. This is called in-show, during-show research.
Yeah,
okay.
you don't get this on other shows.
Oh, Tony.
What an ass.
Wow. He is truly a buccaneer back there, Tony.
Yeah,
there's some booty. There's some booty on the pirate ship.
Pirate's booty.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no question. Yeah, thing's got his own zip code. I would, in short yardage situations down in Tampa, I would put him under center.
Put him in.
Yeah.
Wow, this is terrific NFL analysis.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Let's move on. Last week we made news, I'm sure, as you saw, when we pointed out that the only reason Jalen Hurts lost to the Jets and struggled was because the Jets were also wearing green helmets. And that's confusing. As a former Eagle, wouldn't you be confused if you were playing the Jets? Like, wouldn't you be like, whoa, which side of the field am I supposed to be lining up on?
Where am I?
Which is what I think the Kelly Greens are so genius because they kind of look like the grass. And, it's easy to lose guys in that situation, whether it's a rusher or it's AJ on 4th and 3. Like, it's hard to see these guys. And I think the reason that Jalen Hurts threw that pick 2 weeks ago, thank you very much, is so that I could get the Eagles at a reasonable line on Sunday night and win a ton of money on the Birds, because this was free money. Had they won that game against the Jets, maybe they're 4-point favorites, maybe they're 5-point favorites. They'd still cover, but I'd be a lot more scared to play the Eagles on Sunday night. And
we took them at -13. We won.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Did you?
Yep. We won big.
An all line. You guys hit one of those all lines. Yeah. I loaded up on the Eagles, but yeah, I don't think if they lose that spot. And in all seriousness, man, teams lose games. I mean, I don't know if you realize
not
this.
Really.
Not really. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have these bumps in the road. And I think it kept the public at bay when it came to betting the Eagles.
Okay, well, let's talk about a game that we know they're going to win. In 2 weeks, the Eagles play the Cowboys. Let's just look back at the times you faced Dak Prescott. Was that like a bye week for you?
No, it wasn't like a bye week. You want to get out there and get good reps in situations where your defense can get home and you can pick off errant passes. So playing the Cowboys, you can look at it like a bye week, but you're sharpening your playmaking skills.
Sure.
When you faced Dak Prescott, what emotions do you think he was feeling? Fear,
diarrhea.
I think it was a lot of diarrhea. I think it was a lot of anxiety, and honestly, like, this was before Trey Lance was even in the building. So, now that Trey Lance is in the building, the guy's probably nervous just showing up to work, and then you get the Eagles D-line on top of that. I think they got a real advantage there.
Exactly. In a previous show, we said, Dak's problem is that he throws the ball to 49ers, right?
Mm-hmm.
If there's something we know about Trey Lance, he doesn't throw the ball to 49ers, right?
He does not throw the ball to 49ers.
He sees a 49er, he throws it in the completely opposite direction. So are you saying the Cowboys should start Trey Lance instead of Dak?
Yeah, I think maybe Trey Lance should start when they play the Niners. Not that they will in the playoffs or anything. They already had their shot, but I think that was a huge miss on their part. And you guys bring up a great point.
There you go. See,
not bad,
now you're
Paulie.
being more complimentary. There you go.
Yeah, well, it takes time.
You're in the podcast business now, right? There's a show out there you may have heard of called New Heights. Have you heard of this show?
I've heard of the show. I hear it's wildly entertaining.
You see, they actually have a smart media approach. You got Travis Kelce talking about Taylor Swift and all that, to drive ratings for your podcast. Have you ever considered, discussing the A-list pop stars that you want to
Yeah. And the nice thing about my podcast is there aren't a lot of people listening, and certainly my wife's not listening. So that's always great. Maybe I could go there. No, but I think maybe like we could set somebody up on the team with like a celebrity. I think that would be a lot of fun. But also, like, you got he's Mr. Maato. What's next? Dancing with the Stars. I mean, he might have been on Dancing with Stars and I just forgot about it. The guy's on so many things. And I think we're going to have Jason Kelce fatigue too after retirement, because this guy can do whatever he wants. So maybe we need to hack into the mainframe, so to speak.
So true.
Culture.
This is why Tony and I only do this show. We don't want to be overexposed. We turn down all other offers.
We create demand.
Many Fortune 500 companies. Okay,
we appreciate that.
Yeah.
You recently made headlines when you said you pitched a solution for all these NFL fans fighting in the stands. You said that instead of stopping the fights, we should put them in an octagon and see who wins. Yeah. So that leads to my next question. How much weed had you smoked when you said that?
Actually, none that day. It was like, I waited a while that day. And, I just had tremendous clarity. I was driving over and, you're looking at Dallas Cowboys fans, Chargers fans fighting.
No class.
They're covered in blood.
Yep.
There's
no class.
Water. There's no class, right? Eagles fans have never been in a fight, which I think is really. And in fact, like they used to have a jail at the vet just in case, but I hear there was never anybody in there.
Good deterrent. Yeah,
it's like it's a great deterrent. But like as far as these fights, not that I enjoy them, because we all agree that we can't enjoy these fights.
Speak for
anymore.
yourself, okay? No, okay.
But I just don't like the playing surface. We can't be fighting in the concourse, beer drenched concourse. I don't know how to score the fight. So selfishly, I want to be able to enjoy these things. Let's put them, you guys ever heard of waivers? I think I had to sign one before I came on this show. Waivers, the way they work is like whatever bad that happens is no big deal. And so like I would just sign a waiver, have these folks get in the drunk tank, if you will, the cage, and you could have people side bet these fights. And I think, it's just another stream of revenue for the NFL.
Tony, I think we might need to start smoking whatever you're smoking. I kind of think that was a brilliant idea there.
Yeah,
all right.
Exactly, dude. Exactly.
All right. Well, you can send us a little of that care of Tony. He handles all that.
Okay.
But wait,
take care of it.
Tony's a drug guy.
Yeah, you could say I'm an entrepreneur of sorts, so we'll just leave it at that.
There you go. That's the way. Okay. But, we are businessmen. And, now that you're in podcasts, you did a good job last week because you made headlines, but we're really experts at making what you'd call viral content. We know how to make clickable headlines. And, since you're brethren, we're both members of the Eagles organization. We want to help you make more clickable content. Okay. So we're going to set you up and you just answer it. Now, here you go. So here's your first question. Okay. Who was the worst teammate you ever had? Take your time.
Yep.
Think of all the views you'll get, all the hits.
Michael Bennett, because Michael Bennett used to make me drive him home from work every day at NovaCare. I had to Google his career earnings. It's fucking what you would expect. He would never drive himself home. He'd wait for 2 hours till I finished studying film, just hovering around me, and make me drive him the complete opposite direction that I was driving on the way home from work.
Chris Long says Michael Bennett.
Michael Bennett, cheap.
There you go.
Also,
great headline.
Also, the rush lanes at times were really challenging. We'd be right on top of each other trying to rush the quarterback. So as much as I enjoy Michael Bennett, that's my answer. It might be Michael Bennett, the best, worst teammate of all time, because nobody made me laugh harder. But I never wanted to drive.
No, we're being nice now. We're hedging our bets. We're hedging our bets here.
Here's your next one. Who is the smelliest player you ever played with or against?
Yeah, envision the headline.
Yeah, the headline.
Yahoo Sports, your name on the front page.
Let me think about it.
Howie Long's son says blank is the smelliest player.
Exactly.
MSN.com.
Brandon Graham.
Okay.
He always smelled like food because he was always eating. Whatever time of day it was, he was snacking. So he'd have like cheese ball residue here. He'd have some food still in
nasty.
the beer.
Nobody wanted to block him, too, I'm sure.
Chris Long calls Brandon Graham nasty, smelly pig. See? There you go. Perfect.
Yeah. And guys didn't want to block him. You see all these times BG just...
look at his hands. That's disgusting.
It's
Get
not
away
the hands.
from me.
He's got Cheetos all over his fingertips.
Absolutely disgusting. Great headline there. Okay, you're on a roll here, Chris.
Yeah.
So here you go. Another one for you. You were obviously teammates with the great legend Nick Foles.
Great.
We ask this solely out of journalistic responsibility. How giant is his cock?
You see my arm?
Hold on. Let me look.
Hold on.
Like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like that. It's
was
like
that after shrinkage in the shower or post?
I don't think shrinkage. I think like an entire weather system would have to move in to create shrinkage for Nick Foles.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think it's like a cold shower is going to do it. You got to like get a cold front. You need like the jet stream to bring in something from the Arctic.
This is
journalism right here.
The slides that people in the event that the plane gets in, when these planes get grounded, they always act like you just slide down the slide. It's not like that.
So if Nick Foles were on a plane that had an emergency landing, they could theoretically slide down on his giant cock.
Basically. Yeah. So at the beginning of every flight, they would be like, hey, seatbelts fastened. Here are your life jackets. We're not going to need those because if Nick can swim, we can all just hop on the lifeboat, the banana boat. But if in the event that we have to deplane, Nick, there's the exit. Maybe we get Jason Peters to throw the door because that always seems like it's a hard thing. You got to turn it and then throw the door. So JP, you got the door, and then Nick, you just let that thing flop.
Unzip your pants, saving lives.
The first guy off the plane is going to be Dougie P, and then we let the players go after Dougie P. So we had the whole drill down.
Okay, see, there it is. Chris Long says Nick Foles' penis is so big it could save lives.
It could save lives. It could also
Wow,
destroy
Nick Foles
lives.
has life-saving penis. Okay, would you be willing to call Nick Foles and ask him to take a picture of his cock, just out of journalistic responsibility so he could send it to us
right now?
Now, see, I have no need to see it again. I mean, it's kind of like
No, we're asking you as we had you on the show, we gave you exposure.
Now you return the favor to us, and you get Nick Foles to send us.
It's only fair.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's a quid pro quo.
Yeah.
You're helping me by having me on the show. I'm helping you guys by getting a dick pic from Nick Foles.
Yes. Just for
I
journalism.
probably could get you a Brett Favre more easily.
No. You see, we've seen that one already. Again, out of journalistic purposes.
Yeah.
You couldn't evacuate a Cessna with Brett Favre's deal.
No,
You know?
we're not. We're just asking you, get on your phone now and text Nick Foles and just say, hey, dick pic.
I'm not. I
All right,
can't
you
do it.
know
I
what?
lost his number.
We
I
bring you
lost his
on the
number.
show.
Guess what? We
give
do
you
a
this
favor for
exposure.
you.
Well, guess what, Chris Long?
Guess what?
You
Me
should
off.
call
Chris
yourself
Long.
Chris
More like
Short,
Chris Short.
because that's
Yeah.
how long you spent on this show.
It's a wrap
When
for
Nick
you.
was on.
They said
You're
Chris,
off
you're
the
the
show.
evacuation guy. You're the
You're not
evacuation
long
guy.
for this show.
Fusco Satellite
Is
Network.
he off the line?
Jay, hang up the phone.
He clearly still needs to learn how this business works. He's just an amateur there.
Yeah, exactly. That interview went on way too long.
Yeah, it was good. It was good for a little up there, but then, he kind of blew it at the end. Anyway,
Exactly.
We
Yup.
do want to take this time to thank our sponsor, of course, our good friends at Zales. And,
Yeah,
you
thank
know,
you.
Whoa. Hold on.
Oh,
talk
producer
about someone who
Jay.
goes on way too long.
Yeah, what do you want?
What?
What?
Corrections.
What?
What? Hurry up.
You said you project Caleb Williams to be drafted in the 6th or 7th round?
Yeah, bro, totally.
Yeah.
Every draft board has him going number 1. There's no way he is dropping that far in the draft.
Oh, yeah? Well, you're going to be dropping far off my balcony.
Yeah, I have you going number 1 into my incinerator. Boo!
good
You're
one,
done.
Tony.
That's it. No more. Let's leave. Let's go.
No. Second.
Well, hurry up.
Second.
Go.
You said Alabama beat Georgia in the 2018 national championship game.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
That's not actually correct. Even though the game was played in 2018, it's technically considered the 2017 national championship.
Oh, yeah? Well, after the show, you're going to be technically considered dead.
Yeah. Right now, there's only one thing you're technically considered a virgin. Oh, you're done. Let's get out of here. That's it.
You said Bill Paxton was in the movie Independence Day.
Yeah, bro. Great president, bro.
Unforgettable performance, bro.
No, that was Bill Pullman, not Bill Paxton. They're two totally different people.
Oh, yeah? Well, your head is going to be independent from your body after I decapitate you.
Yeah. And you're going to be two different people when we chop up your body. Oh,
Great
you're
one,
done.
Tony. Look
He's
at him shaking in his boots there.
poorly.
Oh, but here's something that will get you all shaken.
What do
'Cause
we
guess
got?
what? We're making it 2 in a row here. Another Eagles Super Bowl legend coming to the show next week. Nick Foles will be here. Can't wait for
huge.
that. Hey, don't forget, visit our merch store. Buy all the merch.
Yeah,
in
buy
there.
all the merch. Show
Subscribe
your
on the
allegiance.
YouTube. Follow us on all our social media platforms where we
Yup, follow
continue
us.
to go viral every week,
Yeah.
people. And Tony, great job as always.
Same to you, Paulie. Another flawless show.
There you go. We'll see you people next week.
See ya.